This is Patriot Sports Radio.
Patriot Sports Radio.
Fed up with the national talking heads and biases of mainstream sports media. If it's sports, from the high school level to the pros, we're talking about it. Like the red-blooded Americans we are.
God bless America.
God bless America.
God bless America.
Let's do this. Here's Eric, John, Chris, and the coach.
Wake and Rake, dude. Eric here, Chris over there, putting the pro and producer. We got all kinds of we got Elio here from Average Joe Sports Talk. We got Will from GameOn.locals.com. We got Coach over here. I mean, it's time to talk football. We're awake. We got all kinds of injuries. You know, it's week 9. Everybody's hurt. It just comes down to if you can play through it. Elio, how you doing this morning? How's the Florida weather? Elio's muted.
Florida, it's always great. Woke up super extra early today because of daylight saving times. You know, I got 2 alarm clocks, 9 and 5-year-old. But we're here to take it, and we're here to rake it, baby. Let's go.
Beautiful. Heather's here. Good morning, Heather. I had a double French toast order I had to make this morning. She can sympathize with that. Fourth and Flex guys are here already this morning. What do we think of this 3-way parlay? Ooh, what do we got? We got Michael Bandy, anytime touchdown. I see that. Michael Bandy first touchdown is plus 1,100. They're getting a little too sharp on these first touchdown plays. A backup tight end is only 11-1. I like that. Gabriel Davis receiving touchdown and Aaron Rodgers rushing touchdown. Ooh, that makes it 150-1, huh? That's wild. A Rodgers rushing touchdown. That's where it obviously hinges. I mean, it could happen, right? He's done it before. You get down on inside the 10-5. If he sees a window, he runs. He likes, never underestimate Rodgers' ability to make it about himself, right? Speaking of quarterbacks, Ryan Tannehill most likely out with a high ankle sprain. We're likely to see Malik Willis, who last week completed 6 of 10 pass attempts for a grand total of 55 yards versus the Houston Texans. Now he plays the Kansas City Chiefs, and Chris and Will don't think the Chiefs can beat them by 2 touchdowns. I say they're nuts. I think this is a blowout. Elio, you look like you agree with me.
Yeah, I think it's going to be they're going to go. I think their defense is going to go after Malik today, and they're going to just, we know Derrick Henry's the whole offense, right? It's going to be 30 freaking carries for Henry today, but there's so much you could do. I think the 2, double digits, put it that way. Maybe not.
Where's the game?
It's in Tennessee.
Yep, in Tennessee.
Henry rested a few days this week, I think, just because of the massive workload last week and the anticipated massive workload this week. But, I mean, Coach, these guys got a scrambling quarterback who completed 6 passes for 55 yards last week, and now they have a defense coming off a bye that's obviously going to be blitzing all the time. What do you do? Do you just run and keep running?
I gotta say, I don't know why anybody playing him doesn't put 9 in the box against that and just try to get him. And if he completes it, he completes it. That's kind of the deal with, because Malik can get after it, man. That guy can get after it. He's cat quick.
Yeah. My concern is they only had, I think, 4 designed runs for him and 1 scramble last week. That tells me they don't really have anything in the playbook for the kid.
Well, and a lot of times, especially with you guys have seen this 100 times, especially with rookie quarterbacks in the NFL. The first time the lights are really bright and your check downs become really quick. Check 1, check 2, run, because they don't spend the time going through the progression. And the game, the speed of the game is so fast at that level, it takes a while to adjust. I think that's with all quarterbacks, especially him, who's prone to running anyways. I mean, he is really quick, and you can make your team one-dimensional pretty quick if you have a guy that does that. Especially, he starts getting into the late in the game, 3rd, 4th quarter. Well, we know if we get any pressure on him at all, he's going to run. It takes away. It makes it pretty easy to call defense if you know what they're doing, before the snap.
A similar situation in Indy with the quarterback Ellinger. Good morning, Heavy Steps. Red Bull this morning at work. No coffee yet. I like that. I'm a Red Bull guy myself. I can't keep consuming one Red Bull per day, 365 days a year at 40 years old. That's not okay. Angela's here this morning. Good morning. This Colts game, Jonathan Taylor out. So we should play Deion Jackson. He played 2 games now versus Denver and Jacksonville. He was the RB25 against Denver, and then the overall RB1 versus Jacksonville with 10 receptions, but that was from Matt Ryan. This is a Sam Ellinger, Malik Willis type situation. I guess slow Malik Willis, we'll call it. Will, Matthew Judon, 2 sacks today. What do you think? I mean, this kid is begging for it, right?
When you posted that, I loved it. And I was like, let's get it. Where do I find that free money?
Sam Ellinger is no Malik Willis. They are not the same, sir.
I know Malik Willis. Malik Willis is a friend of mine, and you, sir, are no Malik Willis.
I've watched Sam Ellinger. He is not. He is far from
Well, I saw Judon on Friday. I think I checked. Still 30-1 for Defensive Player of the Year. The league facts. What is that about? I mean, should we put $5 on that?
Yeah, I also have Von Miller at 30-1 from the beginning of the season, and he's up there too. So I mean, I don't see why not.
I thought you were crazy. I thought you were crazy when you said that. Like Von Miller, he's a what do you call a mercenary? He just goes around helping people win Super Bowls now, but he's not going to pile up stats. What he is.
First game of the season, he came out with 2 sacks. I mean, it's something about that big contract in that first year. I think he's a little excited, a little motivated, new team. I'm like, this 30-1 is worth a little sprinkle.
Yeah, plus he's a fun guy to root for.
That's what
Elio is plus 16 units last week and plus 52 units on the season. Pretty good. That seems pretty good to me.
Yeah, it does.
That seems like you're winning, Heavy. I love that.
Yep. That's the kind of guy you want to follow on the social medias and do the stuff he's doing.
Oh, Heather. Nectar of the Gods energy drinks. I got to disagree with you. That's just really, heart attack in a can.
It's really not. As an energy drink enthusiast, I have to say they're not good. They're not good for me.
You got to slam them, Eric, or you'll get cavities.
Yep. That's what the dentist said. If you have to drink them down all the way, right away.
Anybody with the $1 Million Man icon as his deal, I automatically give him my full attention.
Yeah, absolutely. Jonah, what's up? Good morning. Sunday in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Jonah, another regular. We're going to have to get something made up for these regular people. Some sort of.
Oh, Heavy. You're not on Ellinger, are you, brother?
God.
He's a Colts fan.
He's a
Colts fan.
Is there a way to block? Can we put him on like a 20-minute timeout for saying something like that?
Pretty much. Today, I'm sorry, man, but DFS guys, I know we don't have a lot of daily fantasy guys, but I think the New England stack with Ramondre Stevenson today is a pick if you could fit it in your lineup because they're gonna eat, they're gonna destroy that Colts front line. That if you could stack those two,
this is music to my ears.
Yeah, I like Ramondre a lot today too. I like him a lot.
The RB defense correlation stat is always good in some DFS. You get the dominant defense, which obviously correlates with the running back getting a ton of carries to put the game away. But DFS is high science. I admire you, Elio, for venturing out there.
I got a few lineups in this morning.
I think we do. I think we got to build a lineup with Elio. I agree. We're not going to put DeAndre Swift in there. We're not sure if he's even going to play. Dan Campbell says he wants to, quote, see where he's at, man, before the game. He gave him 5 carries last week. After the game, he said, yeah, we gave him 1 too many. We probably should give Jamal more carries. So apparently 4 was the max. I don't know what he would max out at this week, but I'm not playing DeAndre Swift anywhere. I didn't draft him because this is who DeAndre Swift is. I don't understand people who think he's anything but this guy right now.
Well, it's honestly what keeps him from being elite. This is the thing. Down the stretch, the limited carries and I feel like the Lions organizations feel like if they trot him out there and he starts the game, that that automatically he's doing great things. And that's not true. He can start the game and have 4 carries in the game and does nothing. And that's where I think that, it is the thing that keeps him from being elite because, most fantasy engines right now are predicting that guy to have between 10 and 15 points this week. And there's just no way. There's no way unless he breaks one on one of the 3 or 4 carries they give him. And when they get down to the goal line where he would normally feast, they end up going with the backup. It's just that Swift is a fantasy killer.
Yeah, he's great when he's healthy, but I wanted to put him in the props article. Speaking of props article, Heavy Steps says Colts slow starters. The Patriots and Colts each no score on their first possession comes out to like plus 105. It's minus 150, minus 200 individually. But DeAndre Swift, I watched all of his touches from last week because I wanted to put him in the props article, and all his rushes were take the ball, run laterally, see nothing, and run out of bounds. His receptions, he got a few yards, but he did not look good yet. I thought maybe Dan Campbell was trying to play possum, make us think he's not healthy, and then put him out there at 100% versus Green Bay. But I don't think that's what's happening. What did you have on Swift, Elio? You looked like you had something.
No, I mean, the thing about Swift, right? Because he does have all the tools. I mean, when he's been healthy, and again, it's availability as opposed to ability, the issue with Swift. The fact that people start him, even though in a limited fashion, because like you said, Coach, he's one of those guys that breaks away for a quick 50, but also can catch it and break away a 7-yard reception into yards after catch for another 45. So yeah, I'm not starting him. I got him in a few leagues, and he's been killing me. But I think it's one of those people that just grab him and like, you know what, I'm going to get 15 points. And I think that's what he had last week, right? I think he had like 14 or 15 points, and he was out there, 30% of the time? 30% of the snaps. So that's where people keep starting him because they know that he's going to get used to the offense sparingly, but he's probably going to get you 15 points better than, CEH. Christian as a player. So.
Well, that's a huge deal this weekend. Do you go with someone like him, or do you go with like a Drake or somebody that is going to get the carries but may not be able to break one? I mean, that's the dilemma with that guy. And I just got sick last week watching Detroit get inside the 20, and then he's not even on the field. And I'm like, come on, man. I mean, this is where if you're elite and you're the bell cow, this is where you just stack points. I mean, this is where it happens, and they just don't want to get him beat up like that, I guess. But you're right; he does have the ability to break one.
Nope. It's Jamal Williams' time when they get in the red zone.
That's exactly right. They go to Williams.
Yep. 8 touchdowns on the season already. In that same game, Lazard game time decision. He practiced all week, and now he's a game time decision. I have a hot take. We need to cut everybody in the wide receiver room except Dobbs and Cobb. They're the only 2 tough guys. Call up Steve Smith Sr. See what he's up to. We need some toughness in the locker room. Lazard has a shoulder. It's a sprain, mostly a pain tolerance deal, they're saying. So he goes from full practice to limited practice back to full. Now we're all the way to game time decision. I'm over it. I'm over it. I'm over the whole thing. Hopefully, I think Dobbs maybe gets a bunch of receptions in this game. Is a nice, easy pass defense. Maybe build the kids' confidence. I don't know. Will, I see Brady handling his downfall much better than Rodgers. Brady's on his podcast talking about, we're going to learn who has character, if we can dig ourselves out of this. This is going to tell us a lot, so forth. And meanwhile, I'm hearing reports of players not wanting to repeat what Rodgers told them about his teammates after the game. Like, what do you want me to do? We're running the ball because these guys suck.
Yeah, I think we're going to learn a lot in this game. I don't think you have to worry about the Bucs until after the bye week. They have a bye week in 2 weeks. I think after that, end of November, if they can't flip the switch then the season's over. But I think today we're going to learn a lot because the Rams had their number last year. And the problem with the Bucs this year, one of the main issues with the Bucs is that offensive line. So, I mean, I know the Rams have struggled this season. They might even be giving up on the season after the poor performance against San Francisco last week. But that Rams defensive line can cause some problems today. If the Bucs somehow look good on offense, especially at offensive line today, I mean, I think you got hope. If not, if it's just a mess, it could all come apart. But like I said, I think we'll find out after the bye week.
Yeah, I think this week we find out if the Rams and the Raiders are giving up because they're both right on the precipice of rich guys probably starting to think about golf trips and so forth. I like Godwin to have a bunch of yards today. The Rams play that soft zone, and he just eats that stuff up in the middle of the field. I mean, we could see a 10 for 125 type day for Godwin. Hopefully.
He's definitely due. He is so due for a big game on his return because he's still trying to get his feet on there. But I think that's going to be the big key. If we could get Godwin off today and then moving forward, that's going to be the what's going to spark the engine of the Bucs to hopefully make a run And I mean, it's a crappy division, so it's
Yeah.
still up for grabs. So
Yeah,
I
them and Atlanta, their coaches can sit there in the locker room and say, look, boys, everything's right in front of us. We win a few games here. We got this division. We got a home playoff game. Like, it can all happen still.
Yeah, it's so completely different, right? One team's gonna throw the hell out of the ball, the other's gonna run the heck out of it, right? It's such like you got a quarterback that he's gonna throw it 50 times, and then you got a quarterback that's I'm gonna go ahead and be conservative and run the ball myself with Mariota.
Yeah.
So different.
And we got Austin Eckler off the injury report now with some kind of abdominal injury. I don't like this. I had a weird feeling about Eckler and the Chargers all week. I feel like they're about to just not show up for this game. He was on the injury report, and then all of a sudden he was off the injury report. They say he's good now. As a guy who likes to bet on 150 yards and 2 touchdowns, I can tell you it's not uncommon for these kind of games to just not come through for some reason. That's why I bet Tanyan 2 touchdowns, because everybody thinks it's going to be Aaron Jones. So why wouldn't it be Robert Tanyan? What are you worried about Eckler at all, Elio? As far as, would you play him in a DFS lineup? Do you think his ownership will change based on this news?
No, he's going to be owned a lot, but he's one of those ones when you play DFS, and like I said, I'm more of a tournament player than I am cash, and I'm going to speak in the tournament side of it. You put Eckler there because I think because he's high priced, it's going to be more of the lower percentage of own because he's really 9,400. He's a top running back, high priced running back, but I think you got to put him in because just the fact that he gets so much work in the passing game, especially when Keenan Allen is out. You have Williams out, right? Even DeAndre Carter is going to be a maybe. You're going to have just Josh Palmer, Everett, and Eckler being your 3 wide receivers. So I put him in a position to get a lot of work today. He's definitely
15 receptions isn't out of the realm of possibility.
Or 15 targets and 11 receptions, something like that. He's got to get targeted a lot today.
Yeah. I mean, his touchdown prop is ridiculous. I think for one, it's minus 200, something like that. For 2 touchdowns, it's only plus 250. They did the same thing to Aaron Jones. I wanted to bet those guys to score twice, but plus 250, that's ridiculous. Preposterous even.
Aaron's going to eat today, man. I don't know about what you guys think, but I think that running game is going to eat today.
We got a Facebook user. If you guys click the link inside the Facebook, then we can see who it is. But we have Facebook user. You guys out there doing God's work for the people every day, fattening pocketbooks and putting smiles on everyone's faces. You know, this is Brandon's America, brother. We got to fight inflation every Sunday.
Supplemental
no
income.
days off with inflation like this. We got to fucking get it done. If we're not in the tree stand putting meat in the freezer, we got to fill our pocketbooks for the rice and flour on this side.
I can't get name brand ketchup unless Derrick Henry runs for 200 yards. That's just the facts. All right.
Yeah, man, I was forced to buy a hybrid, all right, because of inflation, because I drive 70 miles round trip daily to go to work, damn it, all right?
They got you, Elio. They got you.
Please, Austin Eckler, save our boy Elio.
We all need to take a trip to Florida right now. We're going to have to go. We got, what's Heavy Steps guy? How y'all feeling about CPAC, Cordell Patterson for Atlanta? They're going to ease him in, leave him on the bench. Other running backs, they've been holding it down in his absence, he says. I love CPAC here. I think the Chargers' run defense is so soft. Eric kind of wrote all about this on PatriotSportsNow.com. But I'll let him take it because I know he had a big take on this.
I'm excited about CPAC. I think he said he felt 90%. And he's putting out hype videos, like he's getting people fired up. He wouldn't be doing that if he thought he was going to come out and have 5 carries and put out a dud. I think him and coach had a conversation like, dude, if you're feeling good, we're gonna give you the ball. And that Chargers edge run defense is terrible. I think he could break a couple big ones. I'm waiting for them to post the odds on a touchdown because that's just, I mean, you're not a real sports fan or an American if you don't bet on Cordell Patterson to score today.
Hey, Coach, it's 8:05. Are you having to get out of here? Do you got to go to church?
Out of here, but before I go, I wanted to hear Will's. Will's already bounced. I was going to say,
no. What
do you got? What do you got? Yeah, I want your best today. I want your A-lock. I want to scud the books, cut the crap. We're not going 2 hours deep, cutting it down the middle. I want the fat stack today from Will on Game On. Where are we at today?
One game.
All the marbles.
We're going to go with Derek Carr, and the Raiders are going to beat the Jacksonville Jaguars today. I know it's minus 2.5 now. Lay it.
Yes.
Jacksonville.
Didn't even have to wait. I'm giving you the bread right here, guys.
Raiders.
8:05. Woo! Scudding the books.
All right, I'm writing this down.
So we're on the Raiders today.
Raiders, baby.
This is a
Raiders
Raiders
Nation. There you
podcast
go.
this morning.
Raiders Nation. Get your games right.
Throwing no
Get your
parlay.
games right. I'm out.
I'll be right back, boys.
All right.
Hey,
Yeah.
hang on, Chris.
Yeah.
I'll see you tonight, right, brother? We're on Shouse in the House tonight on her podcast, Heather's podcast, and we'll be getting into some fun political topics tonight.
Hey man,
Me, Coach, and Eric.
I am on there. I'm on there, and I'm now on the Raiders. And as I'm scrolling through here, I'm trying to see the game that I am on today. I am on. Gosh, I am going to go with Minnesota.
Ooh, I like the Commandos.
Yeah, we took the Commandos on our pick.
All right.
We got
All right.
+4 though.
Okay. All
Hey, you
right.
think the over 43.5 or under on that game?
Man,
Where are we at? Commandos.
over
what's
and under
Commandos?
43.5.
The over under. Over under.
Oh,
46.
I actually like that better. I like the under.
Like the under.
Yep.
Yeah, I
I'm
think
the
Cousins
under.
struggles. I think Cousins struggles.
Yep. I'm gonna go. I would go that before I would go the side. That's just me. I think
Yep.
I'm gonna go that route.
Iffy on that
Hey,
one.
Coach, right before you leave, Heavy Steps has got one for you.
Go ahead. I'm ready, Heavy.
Raiders and Green Bay are his favorites this week, so I think it could go either way. It is $1 million man with Ted DiBiase.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
You take those two, you throw the Falcons in, and you make yourself a nice three-team teaser.
Well, and I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Green Bay is in a must-win right now. I mean, it's
Yeah.
DEFCON 5. This
Oh,
is really
if
the
they
season.
lose this game, it's over. The
Yes.
whole run is over. The whole run that
Yep.
started when Brett Favre came here
Yep,
is
finished.
over. If they lose today,
Yep.
that will
You
put a
go into
bow on it.
complete rebuild next week,
Yeah.
Monday.
People will be fired
Yep.
if they lose this
and,
game.
and should be and should
Yeah.
be.
And should be.
I mean,
All right. See you
anybody.
guys.
Speaking of that, later, Coach, tell
Have a good
Jesus
morning.
we said hello.
Yeah, nice
All right.
meeting you.
Nice to meet you, sir.
All right.
See ya.
The fact that they didn't pull any trade, I mean, they say that they tried, right? But it's every year they try the deadline. I mean, you told me you couldn't pull Claypool, all right? Freaking Claypool, you couldn't pull that guy in for a trade. You
Couldn't do
couldn't
it.
get him. I mean, come on now. It's like,
Absolutely could have got him, Elio.
I mean, absolutely. It's not like he's, you're trading for freaking, I don't know. I mean, shit, I would have gone to Calvin Ridley and play him next year, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Calvin Ridley
I'd
got
love to
traded.
get Calvin Ridley on layaway.
You got freaking traded, all right? You couldn't pull any of that. I mean, you have assets,
We don't do that.
Did you see that Patriots offered more for Claypool, but the Pittsburgh didn't want to send him to the Patriots?
That's
Yeah. That's why they took the Bears pick, because they assume it's going to be higher than Green Bay's pick. But joke's on you. The Bears might actually be better than Green Bay now that they have Claypool.
No Bears, man.
I doubt it.
This football skins game, geez, I almost called them the Commandos. I was getting close to the correct name. J.D. McKissick out. This is great for Antonio Gibson, who's been proving himself more and more in the passing game. I think Heavy Steps had his receiving prop out yesterday during the live stream, and I love that. Like 22.5 yards or something. When McKissick is out, he's been getting the passing work. He was a wide receiver at one time, don't forget. Gibson is a converted wide receiver to running back.
All right, let's get to Heather's. Heather's got a situation for us.
Mahomes. You gotta go Mahomes.
Okay, let's read this out. Let's read this out.
All right, I got some questions. She's got some questions.
Yes.
Mahomes or Herbert? My defense is on a bye. Do I drop Cousins from last week or keep him for a trade and drop McKissick since he's third in line and injured? You never want to carry three quarterbacks. I think you drop Cousins for the best available defense, and then you play Patrick Mahomes. I think you keep, depending on, I think McKissick's got a hamstring or an ankle, something that'll heal up in a couple weeks. He's a good passing downs option. So if you can afford to keep McKissick around, I would, but there might be some better running backs on the waiver wire. What do you think about this here question, Elio?
I honestly, three quarterbacks, I'll be trading one of them. I'm shocked that she hasn't done it yet. You got three quarterbacks that, there's three starting quarterbacks here, and I would only keep Cousins as long as if I have Justin Jefferson. That's the only reason I would keep Cousins. But I will be trading one of these three and get.
Yeah,
so I
Mahomes
know
and
that
Herbert both on bye last week, right?
that's why we put Cousins on the team last week.
Yeah, that's why she's in this particular predicament.
I know. I mean, it's try to do something with Cousins. McKissick is number 3 in line. He hasn't gotten a lot of work this year because now with Heineke playing, he loves McLaurin and Gibson. So you see the attention, and because Carson Wentz is not guaranteed to take back his starting job because if Kiss My Heine keeps winning, guess what, bro? He's going to be in the starting lineup until they lose. So
I would say, there's probably an Isaiah Pacheco or maybe even Deion Jackson is still available, depending on your league. There might be a couple better running back options out there than J.D. McKissic. Send us a screenshot of the available running backs, or unless she wants to come and talk to us. Either way, we'll give you some pointers on what to do with McKissic there. I've been waiting for, well, she's been waiting for Mahomes or Herbert to have this huge game so she can trade them. But they're either both on bye or somebody's underperforming. So you want to get something for one of those guys. And then
good news for her. I mean, PJ Walker tore up Atlanta's defense last week. I know Herbert doesn't really have anyone to throw to. His wide receivers are all injured, but he should be able to throw against that Atlanta defense.
Yeah. That's why I think Eckler is going to have a huge game. He's going to catch a lot of these dump downs and go for 10 and 15.
Yes, sir. Even though I like Atlanta in that game.
You like
the
Atlanta?
Boys freeze. Yeah, I like Atlanta to win just because I think they're going to be able to run the ball, especially with Patterson back. I mean, Chargers are 26th in the league against the run. Atlanta, that's all they want to do is run. I think the Boys are frozen, so we're running the ship now.
Hey, there we go, baby. Honestly, I like what you're saying about they're going to really probably control the game time. Because even with Cordell back, I think everybody's going to get a piece of the pie when it comes to rushing because Cordell is probably going to get his 15 at least. Algier has been used more in the passing game the last couple of weeks. He even scored a touchdown last week. That doesn't mean that he's going to do this every game, but I think he's probably the better talented out of the backup running backs in that team. And yeah, they're definitely gonna run the hell out of the ball, man.
And even if they get in there and I know that's the game plan. And then if you get down, usually if you get down, you got to throw out the run game. But look at Atlanta. When they were down against Tampa Bay a few weeks ago. In the fourth quarter, they're down 21-0. They're still running the ball. So that's what they want to do. That's all they can do. And actually, I think Kyle Pitts is starting to get more involved and be more of a threat. So I think teams actually have to take him seriously now when they put him out wide. So we'll see what they can do.
It'll open up the passing game a little bit. We know Mariota is not going to go out there and do a Herbert or Mahomes kind of thing, right? That's not his style. But he is good enough to hitch guys in the red zone when you get there as close as possible. So.
Will says, "Look at me, I am the captain now." All right, good thing I know how to do all this.
I'll follow your lead. Come on, what's next?
Yeah, what game you most excited for today? We'll start there.
Man, there we go. Let me go back here, pull everything up here. But you know what? I like the. I'm really looking forward to the. In a way, because I want to see what happens storyline wise. Definitely the Rams and Buccaneers, because I want to see both teams are kind of on the ropes. I want to see if Tom Brady can still keep it rolling, right, and see if he keeps going. And the Rams, they're the defending Super Bowl champs, so they're in the same boat. I want to see what they do. And supposedly they say, their defense has been completely horrible. And we know the offensive line. So I want to see if that is going to be the catalyst to switch it around for them. I think that's the one I'm looking for because there's so much in stake for both guys on stake, for both teams. You know
what I hate about this week? I hate the weeks when we only get two afternoon games, or at least for me. I mean, it's a 4:00 games for you. I'm out here on Pacific time, so two afternoon games. It's kind of like, you get all that excitement, and then you're like, oh, okay. And then these what do you think about the Monday night game? Because I don't know why, but everyone I can see it, but everyone seems to be taking the Saints, and I'm like, why is the line moving on Baltimore? I think Baltimore should be able to. I think they should be able to handle this game.
Even depleted as they are with probably Mark Andrews, and we know Bateman's gone for the year, which is unreal, man. I had really high hopes for that kid, thinking it was going to be, Lamar's guy. But I think they still have enough. Like you said, Kenyon Drake is there, and Duvernay and all these. I think Deshaun Jackson might even get a burn. So, but Lamar Jackson, I think just because of Lamar he's probably going to get back to that game where he's going to rush for over 100 yards.
Yeah. And then they just traded for Roquan Smith. I mean, defensively, should be hanging there. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love rooting on the Red Rifle, Andy Dalton. I love seeing the resurgence of him. He's actually doing all right. But
I call him the Red Pellet Rifle, man, because it's not like he has a gun or anything like that. That Red Rifle name was always funny. But yeah, no, Andy Dalton is a great story, right? It's a great story to have in the midseason. Is one of those sleepers, right? He still has value in this league, right? As a backup quarterback.
Yes, and their internet went out. That's what they're texting me right now. They're like, "Can you just keep it rolling?" We got it. This doesn't phase us. Yeah. I think they do. I think they do. Another game that I'm excited about. Let's pull. Actually, here, let's just pull these up right here. We're gonna share screen. We're gonna look at some lines, people, because that's what I like to do. I like to pull some stuff up. Let me zoom in so people can see us a little bit better. Boom. This Bills line is interesting to me. It keeps coming down. I'm even seeing 10.5 at some places. What do you think? Do you think the Bills handled business? They didn't cover last week. I mean, they should have covered. I was so mad that Green Bay was able to get that. But what do you think about this game?
It scares me a little bit because of the Jets defense and coming off a loss. But
on the road, they seem to play in that stadium. They seem to not play bad, but it seems to be closer.
It seems to be a problem scoring, and it's one of those games that you might be like, Josh Allen finally may have a 1 touchdown, really bad completion game kind of game, and they may just run the ball more. It just scares me a little bit for that line. I mean, plus 11. I mean, I think we're better off probably going with the total score, right? Maybe either money line this game or either go over or under. And honestly, man, 46 points.
I'd like teasing the Jets here. Tease the Jets, get them up to 17. Maybe tease it with the under or another play. I think. Do you think Josh Allen learns from last week? Meaning, remember, they would have covered that game if he didn't throw that interception at the goal line. It was kind of, he didn't need to do that. They were up a couple scores. He could have just thrown the ball away, but he kind of tried to force it into a bad throw there. You think he learns from that? Like, and
that was Josh Allen.
Smart?
Yeah, that's Josh. That mistake there was Josh Allen from 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Rookie Josh Allen second. That was Josh Allen. He couldn't. We know the dude has a gun, right? He was one of those guys coming into the league. Lack of experience was like, you know what? I could get it in anywhere because I have that type of arm. And he made that mistake a lot in his rookie and his second year. That was Josh Allen from 2 years ago, and I think he's a little better, more prepared now to go back and be like, hey, we could go ahead and learn from that. And they are the best team in the freaking league, man. I know.
Oh, hey guys. Nice of you to join us.
We're back. I think Josh Allen's been pissed off all week long about that game, both those interceptions. That one to Douglas was just sort of a dumb throwaway red zone pick that he really wants back, I'm sure. Have Will give his feedback on how to deal with 3 QBs on a fantasy team.
Hey, listen. This is it's a dynasty league, all right? And when there's value, there's value.
That's
and I got Deshaun Watson for free, and I got a franchise tag him. I'm about to have Deshaun Watson the rest of the season and next year for very, very cheap. Also, I got Mahomes. I mean,
well, there you go. Then you're in good shape.
Talk about great asset value there.
Yeah.
Oh, what other did you guys talk about how Michael Thomas is on the injured reserve? I don't think. Does he come back this season or ever? Is he now in the Sammy Watkins category of the guy who was good for a few minutes and
he was way better than Watkins.
Watkins could have carried his cock down. No, he was way much when he was
much more consistent. Yeah, I wonder what the games played looks like if you stack.
I saw a thing this week. Was it the Michael Thomas the best at legalized robbery or whatever, something like that, some meme.
Yeah.
Talking about robbery, what are the odds? Are there odds yet of how many more games Kamara's going to play this season, or how long his suspension is after the TMZ video was released of him, being the crap out of that guy after the Super Bowl? That's a storyline to me in that team. How many more games Kamara is he going to get suspended this year, or
does he even play this week?
He's active and on the roster, so they haven't said anything this week as of yesterday. I haven't checked this morning.
So I have not heard, Angela. I haven't heard if the Vikings are going to play Hawk right away. They might put a package together. Something tight end's not a position like you can just install CMC in the red zone and say, "Here's the ball, go find the end zone." That's a different position. Tight end is
a lot of blocking assignments.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Oh,
I was just like blah.
But back to that Kamara real quick. It just goes to show the NFL, and I kind of like that they're just letting the situation play out, in court and whatnot, but they need to be consistent because they never do that with anything else. Everything else, they react right away. And it's like, why don't we wait till, let the court settle everything out and then you can make your punishment. But
Will, I think
the video is definitely damning.
I think that they would absolutely allow that to play out in court and tell TMZ. So I heard the word on the street was 2 weeks ago they were negotiating with this video on some whatever negotiations take place with these videos. I don't know. A bag of McDonald's money in a hotel somewhere on a roadside and nowhere.
No.
America.
It's a massage parlor.
I bet there's some wild stories about where that money's been exchanged.
Yeah.
I bet there's been like a daycare center.
Absolutely. But once TMZ had their paws on that video, they circled Kamara and put it out to the public. The Shield has to react now.
They have to do something.
And the Saints do too.
It makes the Kareem Hunt and Ray Rice video look like a daycare. All right?
It really does. It's the worst assault video I've ever seen the NFL put out. His face is hamburger meat. It is awful. It's disgusting. I
haven't watched it yet. It's that bad, huh? I'm gonna have to do a video on it.
I've seen a lot of fights in my life. That is fucking sick.
That's not a fight. That was just a beating.
It makes you wonder, though, why the NFL let him play the season, because the NFL had to have.
They had that video. They had the Ray Rice video too. They didn't care until we saw it.
If anybody has a guy, the NFL has a team of guys. They knew this video was at TMZ before TMZ had their mitts on it.
Absolutely.
So I don't know exactly how all this works. Coach would say that it's a roulette wheel and they throw the deal when they're ready for, like, okay, we're going to take Kamara down now. And boom.
It's just like today's everything else in the media is the narrative they're trying to push and which one is going to hurt them or benefit more. So we're going to keep it longer or less, right? Deshaun Watson, bang, bang, bang. This is when we're going to strike. You got Kamara, Ray Rice. It all depends what's going to affect the most, right? Ratings high, ratings low.
It comes down to money.
Yeah, exactly.
Is there an algorithm?
Yeah, it's like with the Deshaun Watson. Oh, we can virtue signal and go after Deshaun. This is a hot button issue in the country. Protecting women's rights and whatnot. And then, but with this, it's like, oh, this just looks like another privileged NFL player beating up on a poor guy. This doesn't make us look good for punishing this guy. Like, let's just try to sweep this one under the rug.
You're not going to have a huge crowd outside protesting in New Orleans because Alvin Kamara is playing.
Yeah.
I've got Heather's scenario here. She sent it to me. She's got the Cowboys defense who are on bye this week, but available defenses. I see the Chiefs who are playing Malik Willis. We got the Vikings, the Panthers, Bengals. I wouldn't touch because the whole secondary is injured. And the Buccaneers. What do you think about the Bucs defense? Do you like those more than the Chiefs?
The Bucs defense today, with how Stafford's been playing, yeah. I mean, also it's risky though. This is going to be the first game without Shaq Barrett. So, what kind of pressure are they going to be able to get? Chiefs, it just depends on what Tennessee's going to force their quarterback to do. Also, that game is in Kansas City. It's not in Tennessee. From what we said earlier. I was going to say this line seems weird if it was plus 12.5 in Tennessee. But I don't know. Chiefs defense. It's tough, but you don't know what you're going to get from Bucs defense. Yeah. But I do think Stafford is kind of. I think he's done. I think he's washed. I don't think. I think it's over.
Sacks. Yeah.
In the year the quarterbacks have stayed one too many years, Elio.
You know what? And he got his chip, man. So he's like, whatever. I got paid. I'm going to play one more
money,
year.
And a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
He got his money and his championship. So
I don't blame him.
I don't blame him. I would have done the same thing. Crap. I would have signed up for less than that to play one more year if after I got my ring. So, and the guy has had
money's
with
money.
This ring, he's in the Hall of Fame, right? I mean, he's only a quarterback if he put his numbers up there, right?
That was all that was missing was the Super Bowl ring. He was already maybe going to get in after 20 years.
Yeah.
If Phillip Rivers gets in, Stafford needs to get in.
Yep, I agree. A couple compilers, and now Stafford has a ring. Heather's running back situation she's got McKissick on the bench and she's got Melvin Gordon on the bench, who hasn't been producing much either. On the waiver wire are Brian Robinson, Isaiah Pacheco, Rashad White, and I don't see anybody else really worth picking up. There's Sony Michel you wouldn't touch, right? Or Justice Hill. You never know what's going to happen in Baltimore. But Pacheco and Rashad White, I think Rashad White is going to start getting more and more of the work as the season goes on. Fournette getting like 3.1 yards a carry. I watch him when he runs. He doesn't hit the hole. He literally turns around and backs into it. There's something wrong with his shoulder or something in the front that he doesn't want to take a hit. So I think it's going to be Rashad White time here pretty soon.
Hey, Eric, listen to this. My fantasy team, the Christian McCaffrey trade, probably going to help me in the long run. But this week, listen to my running backs who I have on bye: McCaffrey, Barkley, Chubb. I'm playing one running back, ETN, and I'm just going to take the L this week. Thank God I'm in first place, but I'm just going to take the L.
Yeah. I was gonna say, if you're not in first place with all those four running backs you just mentioned, man, I'm like, holy smokes, man.
Yeah.
And let me in on that. I need to be in on that league. Hey, I know this about Heather's league that we were just talking about. It's kind of hard. It's like a free ESPN league. So, and she doesn't know anybody in it. She just jumped in it just to play. So it's probably hard to trade. It's not like, you know what I'm saying?
It's tough to trade.
Nobody has
with.
relationships.
Yeah, it's tough to trade with strangers.
You want to hear disgusting though, because I'm going to give you this is not the trend. It's another league which we play for $1,200 for first place. I won it last year. It's been the league that I started and I've been on and off. But I've lost Breece Hall for the year, of course. I drafted Elijah Wood. I was the 12th pick, by the way. And now I also have Mike Williams, who's out for 5 weeks. So yeah, this is what I got right now going today because I have some people on bye. Right. I have Jalen Hurts as my quarterback, which I traded for because I drafted. This is my first 3 picks: Chase, Adams, and Mike Williams, and then I drafted Elijah. Right. So unfortunately, I had to trade Chase to get a quarterback because I have Russell Wilson. Right. And this is like a 12-team league. These guys are dogs. So I traded Chase for Hurts and Devontae Smith. I was able to get 2 for 1. So kind of
nice.
So, but Devontae Smith has been sucking asses. I got him.
Yeah, he killed me this week.
I got to start CH because I have no choice. Algier was my starting running back, until I had something, I had to put him in there after Breece Hall. So that's going to go bye-bye because Cordell is back. Adams hopefully can get me 20 points today because he should bounce back. And Gerald Everett should be my other hopeful. And then in the flex, man, I got Pollard as my other running back now, who was on the bench. Now is my starting quarterback. He's on the bye week.
Adams is going to get you 20 points in the first half.
I hope so.
I like Everett today, too.
Yeah.
I hope
hey, shout out to Casey. Thanks for watching, man.
Hey, that's my boy Casey. He has Western Sounds podcast, and he covers great country music, and he has really good country and Western bands on his show, and they come and hang out. Not like your Kenny Chesney's, but your Red Dirt, your kind of underground guys that are really good and in it for the love of country music. Also covers a lot of radio. He does rodeo. He does rodeo dynasty, rodeo fantasy, which he did.
Just learned that's a thing.
Yeah, to get into a rodeo fantasy this year, team, and I think we're gonna put one together here at Patriot Sports Radio. I know a little bit about it, being from Oklahoma.
Hell yeah, dude! I just this year learned that they have rodeo teams in the colleges down there.
You don't think that Eric and I in a couple months are going to be sitting here betting bulls? You're bullshit. The over and under on seconds.
Come up with 5 excellent names.
Yeah, the cowboy or the bull. We're going to be on this.
They're putting odds on it. You better have the hats while you do it.
Yep. I'll say this: I'm not a country music guy, but Tyler Childers and Turnpike Troubadours, 2 of the greatest bands alive. So I do like some country, just a little bit. It's got to be real good and like authentic stuff, not like this pandering shit that's on the radio. And it sounds like that's what Casey's into. So I think we're going to get along just fine. Should we talk about this Panthers-Bengals game? All of the Bengals secondary are injured. Cornerback Trey Flowers and Mike Hilton didn't practice all week. Mike Hilton has a finger injury, so I don't know what that is, but he's not going to play because of it. Eli Apple is back, so I don't know if that's even a positive. Chidobe Awuzie out for extended time, possibly the season. I don't remember, but fortunately for them, they're facing PJ Walker. What did he have? I think he had a negative ADOT his first game, but he's starting to put it together. He's chucking it down the field. DJ Moore's having games. Bengals 9th in points scored. Carolina 22nd. Carolina defense also outside the top 20, allowing 23.3 points per game. What do you think? Will the Bengals get more than 23.3 points today, even without Jamar Chase? I think they do.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. This seems like a big day. I think it's like a 28+ point game for the Bengals. 4 touchdowns.
God damn it. Got me.
All right, Casey, we're ready for that rodeo stuff. Let's go.
Which way? Not to sound like a noob.
Yeah, Will, I think you and I were miserable at this. Betting at all or fantasy and rodeo because I don't even know what it has look like. Put it that way, man.
I need a bigger one.
That's Riley's old hat.
I'm gonna have to get me a real Stetson. What are those? I bet they run a few $100 for a real legit Stetson hat.
Hey, we
there's a brand that's more legit than Stetson. Yeah. Okay,
Eric, we just put a nice parlay together, and we'll get you a hat. You know.
Oh, Stetson's like poser shit. I'll get laughed at if I show up at a rodeo in a Stetson hat. They'll be like, "Oh, you're the kind of dude who shows up to church on Christmas and Easter. You don't know shit about this rodeo. You got a goddamn Stetson hat on, boy."
Bad idea. Why don't we do a 3-team parlay before the show's over? Let's pick a 3-team parlay and throw it out there. See what happens.
Let's do it.
That'd be fun.
Do it.
That'd be fun.
Let's set that for the end of the show. What do you guys think? Right towards the end, or you want to do it now? It's up to you guys.
I'm gonna head out now, but I'll give. So I gave out the Raiders. I'm for that one, and also I'm telling you guys, Cardinals are gonna beat the Seahawks today. So those are my two suggestions.
This guy and his Cardinals.
I got the card. I got the cards also.
Oh, Chris, you're muted.
1.5. Right?
I got it.
Okay. American Hat Company. Okay, I've been educated. I like that name a hell of a lot better.
That hat around. You can't put a hat like that.
You got it.
Yep. There you go.
What's the
Just
deal?
like
Is that
Yeah, you're gonna
that a
shake all the
respect
luck
or a
out of it,
superstition?
brother.
Oh, okay. All
Yeah,
right.
keep that some bitch upside down.
I
Don't
get
put
it.
that flat.
I
And
get
jack
it.
the.
But you hang it, right? There's all kinds. There's a lot of rules with hats. I mean, I've watched Yellowstone enough to know that there's rules with hats. There's shit
You just
don't
sit right
do.
there to my left, and we'll get you figured out here.
You don't throw a hat on a bed. I know that.
Yeah.
And now I know you set them down on a table upside down. I know the Packers are going to beat the shit out of the Detroit Lions. I know that too.
You should.
Let's go.
Packers are 3-5. They're playing the 1-6 Lions. Not exactly the hottest game in the slate today. I think AJ Dillon's leg is just about broken. Did you see who's that? Milano took him down. He stiff armed him, and Milano just climbed up on his arm and sort of bent his leg sideways. It was gross. So I think this is going to be maybe a Jones Dubs Tanyan game. I think Rodgers will take advantage of these bad cornerbacks. Would be a Jamal Williams revenge game if he was even capable of resentment, but he is not. Nicest guy in the world, Jamal. But I think this is the last chance. If they don't come out here and beat the Lions convincingly, season over, run over. It's all over. It's just going to be a cold quarterbackless winter here for a
panic button.
Yeah. Panic
Gentlemen, I am gonna take off. I'll tune in to see what the parlay ends up being, but this has been fun. And let's win some money, huh?
Let's do it. Let's fucking wake, and then we'll rake.
Dude, every time I leave this studio, I accidentally almost click the end broadcast because I see the big red at the top. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Anyways, I'll talk to you guys later.
All right. Have a great Sunday, Will.
You too.
Oh, my ADD plowed right through the parlay segment.
Let's heavy steps. You got some good.
Yeah, we got to.
We'll
revisit
okay.
this.
Yep, I copied it, bro. I already screenshot it. So
Khalil Herbert over 37.5 rush yards. Boy, that seems like a low number. Khalil's been getting almost half the work lately. Jared Goff under 23.5 pass completions. I don't know. Packers are going to score, in my opinion. So they might have to throw to keep up. Tyquan Thornton under 34.5 receiving yards. I played his over last week, and I can tell you he had like none or a couple. So it's not quite Tyquan Thornton time. He's a talented player, but I don't think Bill is working him in yet. So I think I like that. I think your average prop better is going to take the over on that. So that's a good sign. You want to be sharper. Garrett Wilson under 4.5 receptions. Ooh, who's he got? Jack. What's that kid's name? Jack Jones, the cornerback for the Patriots. They're starting to play some defense. Tyler Boyd under 5.5 receptions. What do you think about that, Chris? Heavy Step thinks Tyler Boyd's going to have under 5.5 receptions. Aren't we trying to start him in the Trenches League today?
Well, we kind of have. I mean, we're stuck there a little bit, so we're going to start him, and maybe, hopefully, I'm never going to say this. I hope Heavy Steps is right, but and somebody else carries us.
Yep, I like the Gibson. I like the Gibson, the Herbert, and the Thornton bets for sure. Yeah, I like these. I like a prop better guy. He's always bringing props in the morning. My kind of guy. Casey, also a Packers fan. Yeah, we're gonna be buddies. We're gonna be buddies.
Casey's legit. He's a great human being. The Packers better win. Yeah, Angela's a Lions fan. We're not doing that. Bad vibes
Well,
this morning.
why? Yeah. What is with you guys?
But it's the Lions, guys. What have we done
is.
since 2018? If we look back, I mean,
Beat
we
the
own
shit
the
out of the
Lions.
Lions.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what we do. This is our bye week.
Let me ask you a question, guys. Do you guys trust the receivers for the Bills today? Facing that solid secondary for the Jets, Sauce and Reed. They're going to be Diggs.
I think whoever Sauce isn't on is going to make the play on that play. But Sauce hasn't followed people, I don't think, this year. Maybe one time. I can't remember if it was once or not, but he hasn't been a shadow guy. So I think they'll move him around. But I like Gabe Davis. I think this could be one of those Gabe Davis 5 catches, 115 yards, 2 touchdowns games.
He's good too, right, Elio? I mean, it's hard to cover both of them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Especially who they just put in the backfield? Is it who's
Naeem Hines?
Yeah.
And they say they're going to start him this week.
I
think he's gonna. That's where I'm thinking where they're probably gonna end up using the Naeem a lot. I mean, Singletary's also been killing it, catching the ball.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have guys that are identical when it comes to the same kind of gameplay, right? So
what does that say about Cook? They must not trust him at all.
No, man. Did they quietly put a little team around Josh Allen? It's been quiet. It's not like any splashes where the water comes out of the pool. It's not like that.
Yeah.
They started in the offseason, and now just adding Naeem Hines, which is a kind of safe blanket for him. I guess
that's a great outlet, right? He catches the ball well.
They're getting ready for the playoffs, pretty much.
Absolutely.
That's where they're definitely getting ready for the playoffs.
Angela, I apologize. You are a Vikings fan. I always get jacked up because you wear a lot of Lions gear.
She's a fan of 9 teams.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to keep track.
I give her shit about that all the time. She's a fan of many teams. She roots for the stories, and so
I'm with heavy steps here. We have Naeem Hines in the Trenches League that we're in.
Yep.
And we're all in that league together, everybody. It's on the Trenches. It's a reality show, fantasy football reality show put on by Armchair Athletics, and we're all participants in that league. So we have Naeem Hines, and when he got traded to Buffalo, I was excited.
Yep.
He's going to be a great outlet. So can you cover all 3 of them?
Yeah.
It's going to be
Davis.
It's going to be interesting.
So you guys want to get into player props, or you guys want to get into a DFS lineup or two with Elio?
Let's build a DFS lineup with Elio.
I'm gonna build it as we go. Elio, what do you use? FanDuel or
FanDuel?
Okay, that's where I'll go.
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna give you tournament lineup, all right? Because I haven't tournament's a little different than cash games.
That's all I play is tournaments.
Yeah, you got to go with some crazy stuff. So I'm gonna give you one.
So the 12-game slate.
Are we doing a 12-game slate?
12-game slate. All right, and I'm gonna give you my here you go. Here, I got a few already. So there's one here that I'm gonna pick here, and like I said, I'm gonna give you one that you guys are gonna like because it's gonna be very own. So ready? And it's focused around the Green Bay Packers.
Okay.
Aaron Jones, because I think Aaron Jones is gonna be in pretty much almost every lineup I create today. Travis Etienne. All right, I'm gonna have Christian Kirk. Ahmad St. Brown. Want to target that Detroit Green Bay game because Swift is, it's going to be limited. So he's going to be getting a lot of targets today. I'm going to definitely go with Tyler Boyd today. I think Tyler Boyd is going to get you, even if you get under 5.5 receptions, if he gets you 5 receptions, he's one of those guys that could catch a couple of touchdowns in the red zone and also
break one.
So that's why this guy's going to be in my lineup as a tight end because he's very cheap. 5,800 is Everett. Gerald Everett's going to be my tight end for the day because he's going to get targeted a lot in this offense with all the injuries. And then Ramondre Stevenson at 8,000 in my flex. And because I got no money left, I'm going to take a big risk on the Jets defense for 3,400.
Who's our quarterback? Sorry.
Aaron Rodgers.
I like that.
What I'm looking here is over 5 times the value on Aaron Jones, ATN, and Ramondre. And then if Aaron gets me 20 points or 25, we might be cooking with something. So that's my DFS GPP lineup. Probably throw one of those dollar single entries that there's like.
I missed a receiver. Elio. Here's what I have so far. I have Aaron Rodgers, A. Jones, R. Stevenson, St. Brown, Boyd, Everett, and Etienne. Who do I need for?
I'm sorry, right? So my receivers would be so it's FanDuel. So there's 3 receivers.
Yep.
I got 3 running backs and 3 receivers. So it's Christian Kirk, Amon St. Brown, and Tyler Boyd.
Kirk. Okay.
And
then defense?
Defense, the Jets.
Jets.
Oh, the Jets, huh? Ooh, the Jets are down there at $2,000. Now I have
DraftKings, I'm doing 3,400. So if I wanted to fit some of these high targeted players, I would do that. So that's it. And then I got another one that's really disgusting, but I only have about 7 going. I'm about to do 20 of these today.
I'm just putting the finishing to. Well, I guess I will play. Tyquan Thornton is what, 3,900?
You do this on DraftKings right now?
Yeah.
Yes. No, I'm on. Well, I just built that on FanDuel.
Right. Okay, yeah, because DraftKings is a little different when you do that. I don't do DraftKings.
I don't either.
A FanDuel guy. It's easier, man. I like the
FanDuel lost me because they started with kickers. And I was like, I can't do kickers. But now they've gotten rid of kickers. Whoever brings me the first legal sports book, you have me for life. That's the deal. So if FanDuel is here first in Wisconsin, I'm in.
And my locks of the week, if you could fit them in, definitely Aaron Jones, Ramondre Stevenson, and the New England defense. If you could try to split, if you could get them all, bring one on them.
You're breaking up, Elio.
So
you got one of them hurricanes coming in?
Oh, shit. We're over that already. We're in November. My locks of the week for DFS, it's Aaron Jones, Ramondre Stevenson, and the New England defense. If you could fit them all 3 in one lineup and you can work your way around it, you might get something.
Aaron Jones, Ramondre Stevenson, Patriots defense. You use that as your foundation, and you're going to be in good shape.
Hopefully.
That's what Elio says. Well, what is it, 8:43? Should we run some proposition bets? All right, let me find the that's the preseason bold predictions article. I'll just go to patriotsportsnow.com. I know that's where it is for sure. And then I'll just click the little bar on the top right, and it will take me to blogs. And that's where we'll find not only my prop bets article, but preseason bold predictions revisited. We got for each division. Wow. Jordan is crushing it over there. So for the week 9 NFL props, I got some wild stuff in there, like Robert Tonyan, 2 touchdowns plus 800. I don't know. It seems crazy enough to work. But Tonyan over 3.5 receptions plus 100. You're going to give us even money on that? That's crazy. That's crazy talk. Terry McLaurin, longest reception, over 25.5 yards. In 3 of his last 4 games, he has caught balls easily over 25. He's gone 34 yards, 17, 37, and 42 yards. Marcus Mariota, 24.5 pass attempts. I just don't see that happening. I think they're going to run and keep running against the Chargers. That's the only way they stay in this game. That's the only way they control this game and possibly win it. Chris Godwin, over 65.5 receiving yards. That seems crazy low. I also like 96 receiving yards plus 177. Went back to Rondale Moore, 2 over receptions, over 4.5. Yeah, since he's gone back to the slot, he's getting targets. Tyler Lockett, he has big games down in Arizona. He went for 203 touchdowns or 202 a couple years ago. His receptions are set at 5.5 plus 102. I'll take the over on that. And I'll take 125 receiving yards at plus 530, 5-1 on something like that. Joe Mixon under rushing yards. Since Chase left with the injury, defense have been bringing a safety down in the box, and it's been working. Mixon much more used in the passing game than the run game lately. I also like Jeff Wilson rushing yards if they ever post it. He was $4,900 on DraftKings. I thought that was a little egregious. The guy just got there. The last one I'll touch on is the touchdown round robin. I did this with the 3 Eagles running backs on Thursday night. You make 3 parlays of 2. All the combinations of 2 you can have from 3. And we hit a Miles Sanders, Kenny Gainwell parlay. So that paid like 8-1. So we're doing tight ends this week. Robert Tonyan, Zach Ertz, Evan Engram. If all 3 score, that's plus 2,900. But if you break it up into 2s, Tonyan and Ertz pays plus 750. Ertz and Engram pays 10-1. And Tonyan and Engram pays plus 850. So obviously, if you hit one of those, you're in the money. If you hit 2, then you're making crazy, crazy profits.
Wow.
I thought since we hit the 16-1 Derrick Henry prop last week, we had a little room to fuck around.
Yeah.
Hey, your mic's back. Well, what do we got? It's 8:45. Time to make the pancakes, get ready for the football, and so forth.
It is ready to rake now.
It's time. We have waked, and now we must rake. Elio, thanks for joining us. Thank you, everybody in the comments. You guys are showing up every Sunday morning. It makes us very, very happy. We'll be back here next week. Go to patriotsportsnow.com to find all our stuff. Elio, where can they find your stuff?
Just easiest way, go to Twitter, Joe's_talk, and hit the bio. You'll see my link tree, and you'll be able to see all my my platforms. You can listen to my podcasts and sites and all that good stuff.
He's also all over Twitter. If you guys show up on Twitter.
A little bit.
We did forget one thing. Are we going to build our parlay?
Are we going to build a parlay? Yep.
Actually, I like what Will said. He take the Raiders, right? You guys good with that?
Yep.
Yep.
Are we taking the Raiders with the spread or the money line?
It's spread. We'll do the spread.
Yep.
Okay. And we said the other one he said that he really liked was which I'm okay with that too, is the Cardinals. I think he said the Cardinals on the spread as well.
You guys are bound and determined.
Yeah, and I don't know. Here I got 4. I'm gonna give you 4 choices. See what you guys think, right? And I think one of them we kind of discussed a little earlier. Minnesota and Washington, the over/under 43.5 for the totals. Tennessee, KC, over/under 45.5, 45.5, and Miami, taking Miami -4.5 for the spread. What do you guys out of those 3? I'm sorry. What do you think the third one should be? Because I have
I like Miami. It's going to be shitty weather. It's going to come down to run game and defense versus run game and defense. And I think McDaniel can scheme up shit better than Eberflus.
Yeah.
Cause another running play. Running play. Yeah, looking at the plays though he doesn't know to read. I love parody music. I should have gone the Al Yankovic route. I really should have. All right, before I do that for an hour.
Okay, so we got what?
What's our parlay?
What's up?
Okay. So we say Raiders, Cards, and Fins, all spread.
Yep. And if you want to add a 4th for fun, I would go Minnesota, that game, and the under on that.
Under that.
Okay.
I got a 4th if you want to put a 4th leg in there just to boost your odds.
I think I'm gonna do that.
And then Eric's got a fun one too, I think.
I got a 2-leg underdog money line parlay.
Right.
Commanders, Falcons, +450. Come on.
Commanders, Falcons.
2 home dogs win outright. You know what? I'm going to do that.
Both money line, right, Eric?
Yep.
Okay.
5 to win 22.56. Thank you very much. Oh, log in to place bets. I got to log in. All right, guys. I got stuff to do. Thank you for joining us. Until next time, be good to each other. Chris, kick the outro music.